Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Moin. Hello out there. I hope everybody can see me except for this little bar here. Jerry isn't with us tonight. He sends his regards. He's still and again working for stuff. Black Schmoll. Very humbled by your appearance, sir. Love your sculpts you're doing currently. Hello, Demons Up, Dutch, Orinoco, Redverse, and Dan Lee. So, what do we do when Jerry's not here? Wax lyrical, and I today am going to finish my little what you call it, murder teddies. But for that, I need more light and more light, and that's light enough, I think. Except I also need my magnifying device. I hope you'll all have a wonderful evening and are not too terrified about the current situation that the world is in. Let me know if the audio is all right, because I'm having the microphone to the side. Can't have it in front of me because there's the me thingamajig. What's it called? Painting station. Some background music. Audio seems fine. That's, well, very nice to hear. So, I'm going to try to add little details to these lovely miniatures, if I can find a way to make it without ruining the stuff. Oriskany! Long time no see. I guess you're seeing Zork and Dutch, yes? Unless they are trying to hide and run away. So, I need some paint. Where's my paints? What to start with? Let's take a dark brown. I hope you're feeling well and are currently not under any stress of the current world situation. It's all going down the shitter, more or less. Brown. I hope last time when I painted I cleaned my brushes enough so that I can actually use them now and not look like a total knobhead. I hope everybody else also has something hobby-wise to do. The biggest thing currently, hobby-related, I can report on is that allegedly Catalyst Game Labs is starting to send out European backers stuff in about 6 days. Yeah. I'm going to believe that when I see it. James Grutz, hello! He's having a crack at the Great Northern War. Painting brown just like the world. Well, you need to blend in, you know? Also brown, if your stool is brown, that's a sign of a healthy diet, so I've been told. And yes, Stevens Up, you're correct on that assessment. If you can't do anything about certain things, it's not very helpful to start stressing yourself out. That being said, you might always be able to help other people when they start to really go down the rabbit hole. Oh, I'm just realizing you can't see shit if I'm all over here painting. I'm trying to go here. If your stool is starting to run away, I'd see a doctor. That might be a sign of tapeworm. Yeah, it's... I'm not sure if anybody who was here last time noticed, but I'm seeing things now because I forgot to use my magnifying glasses last time. Jeebus Christ, what was I thinking? Taco Tuesday. That could be a thing. Hello, Nobod. Welcome. Where's my hardened leather? Have I missed other people's hobbies? Demon Sub is assembling a Gundam base for a future build. Has anybody seen any kind of news on the Gundam miniatures thing that's on the horizon, or is that still just a vague thing that might or might not happen? I haven't looked deeply into it, but my brush, there's my brush. I can't tell that I've seen any big news after the announcement they did. Yeah, that's a fair point, Zorg. We should try to summon John. Let's all chant together. Sturmgeschütz, Sturmgeschütz. No, not helping. I'm guessing if Jerry is hard at work, that the rest of the team is also doing stuff, potentially. Relic Knights. That's one thing I was trying to wrap my head around. So, this was a Kickstarter that went bust and is now coming back under new management. Is that correct? Or do I misinterpret it? What is being said online? 8 years ago. Oh, wait, that's... That's some time ago. Hard at work or hardly working? Same thing. So just somebody bought what was left of the Kickstarter and is now bringing back the game. I've seen the thread, but I hadn't time to read about it. And I thought, whilst you lot are here and already are obviously into deeper talks with it, I might tap into that knowledge firsthand. I'm not sure if I've said that one of the last streams, but I really highly appreciate every one of you that's sticking around, even with the great bearded man not being here. And we're past the 400 subscriber mark. Yay! On YouTube, that is, not on Twitch. Not sure how long that now will take to get us to 500, but we'll see. I'm guessing maybe this year? Would be a nice thing. 500 subscribers at my 50th birthday. So you got 7 more months to get them. Yeah, Zog, that could be also a thing that Jerry is now watching the footy, but I'm guessing there's a lot of things that need to be done in the office. Was anybody else irritated by a Magic the Gathering unboxing today? I felt that was off-brand? Or is that just me? Do some Games Workshop. Let's say no. Well, not intentionally. Currently, nothing of interest there. I might actually pull out my 6th edition fantasy box at some point in the future and try to finish that one up, but there's also my Hero Quest box sitting there taunting me. Jeebus Christ. For real, if you're getting fucking old and your eyes are going, get yourself magnifying glasses. I can't believe the shit I've missed last time here. Business Daddy sells everything. It's not a current set? Oh. Well, I'm by the sheer fact that Justin was rather beardless in that video, I think that must be an older video then, potentially. Because not so long ago, Justin was in one of the shows and he had a full beard then. So either this is a brand new video with a apparently not so current box, which would be a weird thing to do, or maybe that's just something they do to test the waters to see if there's audience to be had making that kind of content. Because currently I feel OTT is trying to just see what works and what doesn't. Throwing sticks at the wall, throwing socks at the wall and see what sticks. That's the way around. Yeah, his beard is going, and I agree, Ruskini. He really should not have removed it. For the same reason, I'm not removing my beard. It's just nah. No, James, that's not the head visor thing. That's just a lamp in it with a magnifying glass, but that works better for me. Seems like we're all in the same boat here with our beards. A ex-co-worker of mine recently shaved off his beard, only to be complaining, why didn't anybody tell me that I have a double chin? And everybody said to him, yeah, you had a very voluminous beard. We didn't see your chins. No, the itchy face is barely an inconvenience. I actually can't really say that I have a itching face when growing out the beard. It's just, whoops, there it is. I think the most itching part is actually when freshly shaven. But your mileage may vary. No, James Cuts, 4 weeks ago they said they would be delivering stuff to the hubs, if I remember correctly. And now, allegedly, stuff is there and is being readied for, what you call it, shipping to the customer. But I'll believe it when I see it. When I get an email with a tracking number, at that point I might allow myself to get excited again. Not beforehand. Oh, and there was a new advertisement on OTT for Troll Trader. Was it Troll Trader? The lot that is buying miniatures. Which is a wee bit a fun thing, because they basically are putting an advertisement out on an international community. And they're sitting right in the UK, so I'm not sure anybody would want to sell them or to them, because I'm guessing prices will be subpar. Yeah, tracking numbers that do track things are the ones that I am interested in. Troll Trader, original branch of the MDF company. When first I saw that advertisement, I was a bit of, this looks somewhat, I wouldn't call it unprofessional, but hastily made. It looked like something someone did in the early 2000s on his home computer, just to have something to put on the web ring. Not really like a proper... What do you mean, Denley? What update thing are you referring to? I've done it some weeks ago. I can't really remember what I added anyways. Something. Oh yes, cunts. No, James, we don't see other ad inserts. The one on the main site is always showing for some reason, which I try to make a point on when talking to Warren some time ago, but yeah. We need just to always remind ourselves, even though it's a nice community site, it's still a aggregator for advertisement of other people's stuff. The thing that annoys me on the whole page design actually is when you go to a sub page or a blog article of, let's say it's what's it called? 0 to 100 hours. And then you've got the sidebars also direct links to something related to 0 to 100 hours. And I usually use these not unused sidebars to click away things, for lack of a better term. And when there's when there's some content in there, you automatically get shuffled away from the page you're currently on, which is quite annoying. I'm not sure that's a directive from Wayland Games, because before they went back to be part of Wayland, before they sold what is basically OTT, the site was the same. Hello, Radagast. Welcome to our little murder bunny. Why am I always saying murder bunnies? Murder teddy painting sessions. Jerry's not here. Jerry is doing stuff work related, which is always a nice thing, because then we get to see things. But by the amount of work he's taking home, yeah, it's I'm pretty sure he's almost overdoing it. But he's a grown-up man. Crispin, hello. The flagging of gold buttons. Yeah, it's it always depends on who bestowed the button on you and if it's actually tagged correctly to your project. There's two things combining here. The one is the page itself being a wee bit underwhelming at times, and the other is, I'm guessing, the actually using the back end is probably a pain in the ass. Just going by the back seat of my pants, it's a WordPress site, and having a WordPress site with multiple plugins, is never an easy thing to do. Tonight's stream is brought to you by It's Cola, and not the brown juice. Just ordinary cola. Do not be scared. Hello, Dave. Shake it, baby, shake it. Can anybody explain to me why I'm so cheap and not willing to buy a new black paint until this god-awful bucket of Abaddon black is finally empty? Well, it's just for bases. If it even opens. Hello. Oh. Well, that's a surprise. Where's my teensy weensy? My brush is gone. Hello. Nobody moves. Somebody nicked my brush. Are you my brush? Oh, there's my brush. It would be sunk cost fallacy if I had paid for that thing. But literally, that was the Warhammer magazine. Was it first or second issue? No, I didn't add any medium to it. It's a pretty decent black. It's just I don't like the container. Even though I do have some nostalgic feelings for the old style of Games Workshop pots, these one really do go on me nerves. Not by finger discount. Way back when the magazines were to be had at the kiosk for was it $1.99 and came with brush, black paint, and ultramarines. And my daughter at that stage in time wanted to try painting miniatures, and those were, for the weirdest reason, the cheapest miniatures I could get. Also, they came with extra paints, so there's that. Yes, I watched the video from Goobertown Hobbies on how different paints react to different temperatures. I find that quite interesting. Though I was surprised that the only paints that really started to fail quickly were from Army Painter. If I was a betting man, I would have betted that those were the most forgiving in regards of temperature, simply because of the climate they originate from. It really looked gooey what he pushed out of that green. So for everybody who didn't watch that video, Goobertom Hobbies did a what happens to paint if you freeze and thaw it multiple times. And yeah, most paints survive without any problems. The first 3 or 4 sequences of being frozen, but a army painter green just went, no, I'm a slushy now. It just looked like a slushy, even when at room temperature. Yes, Zork, I know Games Workshop being the cheap option is a very irritating aspect, but I guess it was just the perfect timing. Having the bait issue of a magazine that comes with miniatures and paints at the same time when my daughter says, yeah, I want to try. Yeah, that's about it. Dimits up the emulsion that's used for uh, for keeping the paint as paint is just breaking down. I'm not sure. Didn't he say in another video way back when that he is some kind of chemist? Or did I misremember that? See? Yeah, it was just the army painter green that really went kaput within the first batch. The others got bad after subsequent freezing and thawing, but the green was very, very much the first one to go out the window. Or maybe his color had seen some frosting before. Maybe it's just the formula of green that's bad. They also had a fellow talking about reformulating paints that does a paint range, but I forgot the name. Something punk. What was it again? Do you remember Demon Sub? Turbo Dog, that's the one. Hello, Maldroth. James, I think the point was if you leave your paints in your car and you live in a cold climate like Alaska, or if you get your stuff only by parcel because there's no friendly local gaming store and you don't know where those parcels are being left at night, there could be some freezing and thawing happening during a shipping incident. The mother-in-law walks past your hobby table. Well, as long as she doesn't step on me table. Oh, James. Don't you try and make them. Army Painter also just I remembered today had left a little hint on YouTube that they are doing paint sets for Infinity. I got the feeling Army Painter is doing a paint set for almost every miniature range by now. They did BattleTech, they did Legion, now Infinity. I think D&D was on the table at some time. And I'm pretty sure that they did ranges more than that. So technically Catalyst does sell paints, at least under their branding. What irritates me the most is that basically most of the times the paints are just rebadged. I don't think they do actually freshly formulated paints for all those IPs. I'd be highly surprised if they would do that. And why would they? They just use smaller bottles, slap a different badge on it, profit. Yeah, but are they really that unique, or is that just a means to experiment on what paints do people want? We have John Blanche paint. Will we get an Iron Miller pen set? Could be. Almost forgot about the pens they were doing simply because, yeah, I don't have any use for them. And I'm afraid these pens will be something you can't just put in a box and forget about for some months after you've used them once. I think those will go bad very quickly. Though I might be wrong. Occasionally that has happened before. I don't know, Nomad. I can't tell you who would, in their right mind, exploit our hobby for financial gain. I really can't see any reason to do that. But then again, here I am sitting, painting stuff. Technically having financial gains by doing so. Technically. Speaking of, thanks James for gifting that sub. Realm of Chaos. Never read them. My only experience with Games Workshop books, aside from the novels, are things from for orcs for second, third, and fourth edition. Teddy bear with foot on rock. See, not only Games Workshop does foot on rock. And because I'm painting Legion, I had the chance this afternoon to print out the current rule set. Because I haven't played Legion in a while. And I might try reading up on what has changed, though. Judging by the looks of it, I'm going to have a big head scratcher before me. Seems like they have made some weird reference errors within the document, allegedly. I'm going to say yes, Nomad, though I'm not quite sure on what exactly you're talking about, but I'm going to just leave it at that and quietly walk away. And I'm really hoping that the temperatures are going up a wee bit in the next few days, because driving on your bicycle to work at minus degrees Celsius is not very fun. Let me tell you that. When your beard starts freezing over, it's a weird feeling. Getting all crunchy in the face. Oh, genie! Oh no, that's the wrongs. That's the hooded murder teddies. How do I know they're teddies? Because of the Mandalorian. Very furry peoples. I really hope that Mandalorian gets another season. Same as Andor and the Blade and Skull show. Radagast, that's really a... Well, I'm living 50 kilometers west of Bremen. Usually our summers are around 20 degrees Celsius, but we happen to have summers that are way hotter. So don't count on Germany being cold. Rainy, yes. Foggy, very much likely. Cold? Could be. In Berlin in March. That's close to 450 kilometers away from here. So a wee bit more than just a short trip. Mandalorian was never a movie, it's just a TV series. The Mandalorian. A multi-part series. Andor was a TV spin-off, or a series spin-off from Rogue One. Maybe that's what you're confusing. Oh! Well, if you have been back in Poland any time in the past, it's more or less the same. Except that winters in Poland are a wee bit colder. At least that's what I've been told. What I can highly recommend is having a vacation on the North Sea. Even though with the tides and water being gone 50% of the day, it's a very relaxing walk on the beach or in just mud. Oh man, that might be that they planned a Mandalorian movie. I must confess I'm falling off the train at that point. The North Sea can be windy, but usually is moderate to light wind. You could also go to the East Sea and have no tides. Yeah, but Poland is on the East Sea, which is, I guess, the Baltic, depending on who you ask. Um, the nice thing about the North Sea is when temperatures are right and the Gulf Stream is working as intended, the water is nice, but you still can cool off when air gets too hot. Just make sure you have sunscreen on you. Sunscreen is mandatory when going to any beach. People underestimate the amount of sun that gets reflected by the water and is hitting you in the face again. Especially with kids, it's a must. I agree with that. Having some kind of headgear also doesn't hurt. Well, I get that point, James, about the tomato, but when I remove my trousers and stand at the At the beach, people are starting to yell, "The beacons are lit! Gondor is calling for aid!" And those calls come from the other side of the canal, not from my direct neighbors. Because they are blinded by them. It's what happens when you work in IT. You just, yeah, you have very pale white legs. YouTube, you're starting to annoy me. Yes, do continue. That's what a playlist is for, you fucking dimwit. I really hope that I get a few days of warmer temperatures after these ones are finished. These here. Sorry, I really need to. Hang on. Can I? Oh. Adjust. Oh, look. Should have done that much earlier. Stupid me. Where was I? What was I going to say? Oh yes, I'm hoping for a few more warmer days so that I can prime some things. And yes, I do know that I have an airbrush, but that's in the garage, and the garage is also very cold and very cramped, and it's just frustrating. I wish I could afford a house so that I could have a hobby room inside with my airbrush and not give a fuck on what temperatures it is. But I'm guessing that's what most people in our hobby think at some point in time. Speaking of hobby rooms, will we ever get a tour of Lloyd's shed? What do you reckon? I think he will not show us anything. That's fine for you, Demon's Up, but I do not have Halford's Grey Primer. I only have the Army Painter primers, and they do tend to have a wee bit of a... It's not really a problem. They do have a quite nice finish once they're dry, but when you're using them in high humidity environments or at low temperatures, the finish is ultra smooth. It's so smooth that paint is not sticking. Something embarrassing had happened to it? Do you mean aside from the concrete not drying up and everybody is making fun of him because of that? Maybe they have converted it into a sex dungeon. Who knows? Yeah, Demon Sub, that's more or less what happened once to me when I used Grey Primer. They looked okay, but the primer was so smooth that the paint just dropped off again. Yeah, that's the thing with being a parent. You suddenly start doing things different. Yes, Ewoks, little murder teddies from Star Wars Legion. Not the ones that have been gifted to me so kindly by Horatio Nose Blower, aka Santiago. But ones I had before. I think I can make an order in for put an order in for black paint at some point in the future. It looks like we're getting to the bottom of this barrel. Two coats should be enough. Yes, Star Wars Legion, Radagast, you're correct. Though I can't tell you how they play in the current iteration of the game. I've been out of the loop for some time now. What annoys me the most is having a hard time understanding rules as it is, so I'm very happy when they get translated. But currently, the German translation is once again late to the party. There has been a big update last year, in October, I think, to version 2.6, which is basically a complete revamped system, as far as I understand it. And since then, we did get a German revision of that rule set, but also an error-corrected version of the English rule set, which hasn't been translated so far. So I'm still a wee bit undecided if I should start playing now with version 2.6 again and trying to get to grips, or just wait until Asmodee Germany is putting out the German version, knowing that that could take ages, and at the point in time they bring out the new German version, the English is already another step ahead. That's one thing that really bothers me about anything coming from Asmodee. The translation team is really slow. And I'm guessing it's just because of manpower. But that's just my gut feeling. Which is somehow... I feel I'm on the right track when seeing that the last translation was not only done by in-house translators, but also by people of the community. Well, when they are finally done, they're good, but you need to have them in your hands to actually read them. So if they're not there, the quality is, well, irrelevant, is it? What most people tend to forget is that it's not only translating texts, it's also making sure the layout is still working, because if translating text was just translating text, it wouldn't be that hard. It would be much faster, but they always need to edit and editorialize things so that the actually printing goes well. No Zorg, not ChatGPT. Again, the simple translation, I don't think, is what's keeping them from actually finishing the rule set. It's the actually creating a proper looking PDF. Just having the words translated is, yeah. Especially since they already have the version 2.6, so they only would need to incorporate the changes, which is, I guess, at that point more work than actually translating a completely new set of text from scratch. But I need to talk to somebody who is actually in the business of translating stuff, to be sure. No, 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 no. We don't use long words, Dutch. That's very not true. Only sometimes. When appropriate. At least our towns' names are still readable and not some 150 character long weird thingamajig. Yeah, especially when the translated text starts to break the layout that has been decided beforehand and is starting to shift around things like text boxes being moved to the next page, and all of a sudden your text is referencing a text box that isn't there anymore, or an example picture that is being moved somewhere else. I wouldn't want to do that. But then again, it's a business. They should calculate those things and have somebody be paid for that to be done properly. Even that is a hard thing if the person who's translating the words doesn't get a grip of the actual rules and is maybe just going by a dictionary. There are some translating programs that are quite good at getting text across. One I'm using occasionally is DeepL, which is, fun fact, a German company. They work way better than Google Translate. You don't need to be registered or anything, and you can translate up to 5,000 words. I think is it words? I think they don't have every language under the sun. For example, they don't have Latin and some other languages, but most common spoken languages are on there. And from what I can tell, when they do translation in the realms of English, German, they are pretty good in both directions. I feel that the matrix behind that translation engine is quite good. Because more than once I used the text and felt that they actually got the gist of what I was going to say across and not just the words. English manuals, yes, those are always very fun. Though, even when you're buying cheap electronics, the translated stuff from Chinese to English and then to German is at times interesting. And at different times, you must fear for your life because you're having a stroke reading stuff. Well, at least English and German share the same what you called it, the same alphabet, so reading and writing is a lot less hassle. If I think back to my time in school when I was first learning Russian, oh god, did I struggle with some of the vowels. And I'm not talking about just the pronunciation of some of those. That I could handle, but the reading? And no, I don't have any memory of anything back then. There's fragments of words in my brain on Russian, but that's it. I guess that depends on the data set that the large language model is set on learning to have translated. It's always the data in, data out problem. If you put in garbage, there will be coming garbage out. If you have proper translated texts where to have the machine algorithm learn on, then you have a chance of having good translations. But who will check those? You'd need a learned speaker to check it. And if you have those, you don't need any technical thingamajigs. I think that's one of the key reasons why some jobs will stay relevant even if machines can, well, do 95% of the jobs. Evidently, my mother was a teacher, and she was teaching, amongst other things, English, business English. And she also did translation for a company that is building agricultural devices like, oh, what do you call it? Harvesters. So that the manuals would be in proper English. And the amount of times where she was going back and forth on dictionaries containing technical terms was just hilarious. Welcome to the Hobby Hangout, where we talk about translating texts. That's why I love this community. No topic is too weird or wacky to have a decent chat on. To waffle and ramble about. I mean, there's a reason why companies tend to employ native speakers for translating stuff. If only because if they get a grip of the original script and put it in their own words, it's probably more correct than if even the non-native speakers trying to make it work. I mean, just take the amount of times I'm trying to hit home a certain idea or thought in my head, and I just go and have multiple versions of sentences in my head, and none of them really work. So I go about and put out metaphors like a lunatic. Speaking language is hard. And I pull my hat to anybody who's able to do that with more than one language at a time. My hovercraft is full of eels. Waffles. I don't remember the exact page count, but I'm pretty sure that the first edition of Legion rule set in German had about 4 or 5 pages more than the English one. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that was something around those lines. So that's going back then to editing and stuff. And just keep in mind, if you're doing a physical rulebook, adding pages isn't something that's something you can just do, because printing goes in certain quantities. Multiples of, I think, was it 16 or 4s? Something along those lines. Yes, edit smearing. I think that's why some rulebooks come with pages labeled space for taking notes, which is basically just, yeah, we need this in case any other thing is other languages are going somewhere. Let me just take a quick look. I think I have these. I'm pretty sure I've got the rulebooks here somewhere on my hard drive to just look up. Not there. Where are you? This looks interesting. So let's see, rules reference 2.1. And no, I don't want to ask the bloody KI assistant fucking... .4. So, rules reference Star Wars Legion version 1.4. English, 74 pages. German, 67 pages. No, I don't know where that left. Those pages have gone. Is there an index at the end that's been cut off? No, I don't think so. I'm guessing it's some kind of designs that have been changed. Yep. Multiple pages difference. Could be less images. Could also be just removing other things. Hello, Toros. So the murder teddies now need to dry. Let's see. I've got something else here. Sound wave. Technically, the packing says primed. No need to. Why is it not opening? No need to prime. Do we believe that? No, Toros, that's still murder teddies from Star Wars Legion. Ah! Parts falling all over the place. Hold on. Yep. Mold line, he says. You think? Oh, it's not coming out. There's the base. Grand. Can you see that? No, of course you can't, because I can barely see it. It's actually held in place with little clips. Motherfuckers. I almost broke my toy. Ah. Now we are getting somewhere. Yes, what I guess that is Shockwave. No, not bot war, but suitably usable for that, I think. Let's see, those are not mold lines. These are actually divots inside the model that are panel lines that are needed. There's a wee bit of a mold line. And there's a wee bit. There maybe. The point. And there. Other than that, not too shabby. From my friendly local game store, but they don't carry it anymore. They are made by WizKids. And I think they are still made. But I'm not 100% sure. Why is he punching himself? He can't stand the noise anymore. No, James, sadly, I only have RC and this one. And it's a very rubbery material, so scraping mold lines isn't very fun or working very well. I think there are 8 different versions of these that WizKids did. I'm not entirely sure. Starscream RC, Soundwave, obviously. The other ones were more or less kind of unusual, if I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure I didn't see an Optimus Prime or a Megatron. I'm not sure what they used as a priming paint, but it's on there. Our packaging says 2019. Under the foot, there's a 2020 date, so yeah, good luck. Is Discord broken? Don't know. Have a look-see. It seems to be going the way of the dodo. I'm pretty sure that's Elon Musk's fault. Where's my activator? It's my activator. Yay, boo! Like what Toro said. Ciao. Well, James, you can always share some hobby progress via the means of the project system. That's probably true. Discord will be fixed once the project system has accepted your uploads. Now, where's my poster putty? I wouldn't bet on that, Taurus. Depending on what infrastructure Discord is actually using, we might be in for a surprise on some technical level. Currently, with Musk and Zuckerberg creeping up to the orange man's butt, I'm not holding my breath. Also, is it Disco exclusively, or is it just the OTT Disco that's on the fritz? Yeah, and there's a tariff on everything. No, it looks like it's everywhere. They are all dead, Jim. You go and live there now. And I take you. Mate in China. Windows 898 Discord client. Some people have more time than sense. Let me just tell you that. This one is ready for paint. Well, let me just do this. Put this aside. I need some space. Keep that. That goes in the bin. Oh, just look at the tiny transfers. Red Decepticon, purple Decepticon, red Autobots. What's the other stuff? Oh, I remember. You get them as transfers or as stickers. The yellow ones are stickers, and these are water slide transfers. Now, where to put them and not lose them? You go there. Where's my remote? There's my remote. Not only you, Ewok, 98 was a more relaxed operating system, especially on second edition. At least to my liking. But then again, everything was better way back when. Oh, I had that one for months, Radagast, and I'm not even sure that WizKids is making them anymore. So keep an eye out. Oh, it seems like the outage is a little bit bigger. Last FM obviously just went down, as some people said. Yeah, the internet is having problems again. Was that only 2 models? I thought there were more. Biscuit's homepage doesn't want to play nice with me. Oh, Captain Aqua, yeah, potentially end times. Well, if they only had 2 models and Optimus, Bumblebee, Starscream, and Megatron were the first wave, Elita, I'm guessing you're talking about RC because I'm not sure that she was called Elita. Deep Cuts Transformers. And we're waiting even more. Yeah, I'm trying to open that one. Thank you for your subscription, Captain Aqua. Exactly, James. They look like somebody who sculpted them really had a knack for Transformers. Yeah, so I stand corrected. Wave 1 was, in fact, Starscream, Megatron, Optimus Prime, and classic Bumblebee. So the Beetle-y one, not the Mustang-y one. And Wave 2 was Soundwave and RC. So I can happily tell the world I've got the complete collection of Wave 2 Transformers undercuts. Let me just grab RC here now. I'm not sure if the camera is still working. Here's hoping. Yes, she's on. Get some light again. No, sadly not. Again, I bought them ages ago. And I had some... I know they had different versions planned. But for some reason, never brought them to market. Because I'm pretty sure there was a different Transformer announced on the shop page when I ordered. Maybe that all got busted for whatever reason. And retail price was $5. I think I paid €8 or something. Have you tried looking at eBay? Maybe there's somebody still selling stock. Jeepers Christ. Yep. Seller in the US is still selling stock, mainly Bumblebee. Why didn't anybody... There's one Optimus Prime and multiple Bumblebees. Yes, we can't find them because they're all in disguise. It's yeah, pretty sure that's it. I can totally see that that is not a thing. Maybe if the for whatever reason that product hasn't sold well, maybe look at the bargain bin at some of your local stores. I basically got it as a bargain. Now. Could very well be if the works is what I think it is. Oh, speaking of thinking what it is, if I remember correctly, Cutlass Game Lab should be doing a live stream right now. Talking about things. Let's see. Newsday.
Oh, well, then I'll just start talking because, that's very fun. Hello, I have taken over the airwaves. Rem can't speak.
I can speak now.
They can't.
Need to look at that up later. Dinner just arrived. Good night, Miss Sodiscany. May your digestion be good. Well, you never looked for them, right, I guess, so maybe now you know that they exist. They will, you will spot them more easily. They are not very big, so this is basically the card they come on. They do look like toys from afar, so... I think I've seen that video, Turtles, with John Sorcery interviewing Priestley. I'm not sure. He seems to have interesting interview partners at time. Though a little bit, what do you call it? Lengthy. For my taste. Speaking of lengthy, I need to have a lengthy laydown now. This man is getting old. And I was contemplating about starting painting Soundwave, but I think that would be just slopping on paint and not really taking my time. And I do like that miniature. Yeah, just rub it in, James. You're in the UK. You're the center of miniature stuff. I hope to see you lot next week, or at least in the Discord, maybe Friday. And he's hoping that Jerry isn't flooded with work next week and we will have him back. Otherwise, we'll do something interesting, hopefully, maybe? Drop a suggestion down in the comments on the YouTubes or whatever you like. Hit me with a DM or anything. And also, Ben, I still need that reply of that email. And Shay, paint the grey.